month of 2021, right? Hey, you guys, say hi when you come in the room. Super excited to be here with you guys today for our Monday midday motivation and conversation with me. I am so excited. So I'm going to challenge you guys. If you have not been following my nonprofit page, and you have a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, or a neighbor, a cousin that's between the ages of 7 and 18, I'm going to challenge you first to go over to our Instagram and our Facebook page and follow it, but also listen to our live talk with our girls today. It was really amazing, and I think that it can be an encouragement to even women of all ages, but specifically to our girls. I'm so excited for them, um, and the things that they're going to begin to embark on for 2021. But let's get back to what we're doing here. It is midday motivation. We always need it, right, on a Monday, because Mondays are sometimes like, wow. And Mondays are sometimes like extremely busy. We feel like we are going 1,000 miles an hour and we just can't catch a break. Well, I am here with your midday motivation, and it's really simple. As we kick off Black History Month, right, and we begin to talk about some of our great trailblazers, some of the people who went before us and fought and made a difference for us, I want to encourage you to find the trailblazer inside of you. Find the trailblazer inside of you. So what I talked about today with our teen girls was what is your spark? So if you guys know, I do have a nonprofit, and our nonprofit focuses on, we don't focus on the disadvantages that kids have, right? We don't focus on, oh, I'm Black, I'm brown, I live in low income housing, I'm a product of a single family household, because I mean, those are the realities, but we can't change those things. We have a thing what we call as our spark, and we use what's called the spark method to encourage girls to push beyond their circumstances. And a spark is something that's kind of deep down inside of you, that's kind of like just, like a flame. It's kind of sitting there fluttering, but it hasn't kind of ignited yet. So our push and our focus as an organization is that we want to find resources and programming to kind of light the spark that's going to push you to purpose and passion. So that's going to kind of be like the grounds for our conversation today for Midday Motivation. As we begin to think about our ancestors and people that we're celebrating this month, and all the great women who has went before us, our Harriet Tubmans, our Michelle Obamas, our all the people. I mean, there's so many Black women that are amazing, but as we begin to think about that, each one of these women had a spark, right? Each one of these women had adversities up against them. I mean, slavery, being Black in an all-white community, separations and things like that. They have all these different things going up against them, but each one of these amazing trailblazers that we will be celebrating this month had a spark. My question to you is, do you know your spark? Do you know what that little flame is inside of you that just needs to be ignited, that's going to push you to greater? Everybody starts with that little flutter in their stomach, and they do something, right, that really, really excites them. But it doesn't make them a great deal of money, or it's just not what people consider to be practical. Back in the day, it wasn't practical to be a business owner or entrepreneurship. You need to be a lawyer. You need to be a nurse. You need to be something that was going to make you money. It wasn't practical. But you knew that when you went to an art class, or you knew that when you began to listen to music and sing, something inside of you began to flutter, and you knew that was your spark. Right? So I want to challenge you today to find what is your spark in life. What is that one thing that when you do it, it gets you so excited? When you find that spark, when you find that one thing that excites you, no matter what's going on in the world around you, that's when you know you found your purpose. Did you catch that? When you find that spark, that's when you begin to ignite your purpose. You have to begin to feed the spark so that it ignite, and it will blow up inside of you, and those things will become the fruits that's coming out of you. And a lot of times we have this spark inside of us. You know, we are a writer, we're a teacher, we're a business owner, we're a leader, and we're so afraid to ignite that spark. We're so afraid to put gas to that spark because we don't want the naysayers to judge us. We don't want people to think that it's just not practical. We don't want to walk away from that $80,000 job. Some of us don't want to walk away from that $30,000 job, that $40,000 job, because we're so afraid to walk out and step out in purpose, but in fear. But let me tell you what fear does. Fear will cripple you. Fear will be that thing that will keep you stuck for the rest of your life. It would be that thing that will just automatically, every time you think you're ready to step out, it will remind you of 1,000 reasons why you can't do it, you're not worthy of it, why you shouldn't do it, what they gonna say, what your parents gonna say. It's gonna do all those things to you, right? So I kind of, when I started, focusing on spark and I started focusing on purpose, I realized that I had to learn how to take fear and use it as my passion. I no longer run from fearful situations. I no longer, when I see things that's fearful to me, I no longer retreat and try to hide from it. I face it head on. And what I've learned is that it's in those fearful moments that we do things that we would have never done. Did you catch it? It's when those moments where fear has kicked in that we decided we're going to do something that we've never done. And it's in those moments that greatness is produced. It's in those moments that elevation takes place. It's in those moments that increase happens. It's in those moments that we trust God. It's in those moments when we begin to lean on God. It's in those moments that we begin to get on our knees and begin to pray to the Father. So I'm challenging you guys, one, to find your spark and ignite it. Set that thing on fire and do it afraid. Walk out in fear, because it's in those fearful moments that we begin to either flight or we fight. But most of the time when we're fearful, we fight. Think about it. You're in a room, dark room, and you can't see where you're going, okay? You have no idea what's ahead of you. You don't know where you're going. You're in a dark room and you're just trying to find your way out. You're trying to find your way out of this dark room. And boom, somebody scares you. The first thing you do most of the time is put your hands up and think, I am going to fight. This is the same mentality that we must have in life. We have to have this mentality when it comes to life and walking in our purpose. You have to have it. Why? Because your purpose is going to be a place of fear. Do you understand? Your purpose is not going to be this beautiful, I'm walking in my purpose and everything is going so great. That is not how purpose is set up. Purpose is set up so that it can produce something greater out of you. And it's in those moments that you are going to be fearful. You're not going to know where the finances is going to come from. You're not going to know where the support is going to come from. You're not going to know how to step off your job to pursue this full time. You're not going to know if the people that's attached to you are going to accept the vision that God has given to you. You're not going to know, honestly, if it's really what God has called you to do. That is when you know you're walking in purpose. So when you begin to find that spark inside of you and you believe, hey, I'm going to ignite this thing. I'm going to set my purpose on fire. That's when your passion, your purpose becomes your power. That's when power happens, because now you're activating what's deep down in you that God already gave you. God said that I've given you the power and the voice. He said that you have the ability to speak to the mountains and the mountains will move. He said that you have the ability to ask and it shall be given. He also said that you have the ability to just speak to situations, and you have the ability to speak death to situations. He said that life and death lies in the power of your tongue. And a lot of times we forget the power that we have because we're not working and walking in our purpose. So as an empowerment coach, as a purpose consulting, there are steps to me getting my clients to where they need to go. We have to go through this stage of spark and igniting that spark, and then we have to define the purpose. And once we define the purpose, then we have to activate the power that's in our voice, the power that's in our vision, right? And then once we begin to do those things, guess what comes after that? Let me tell you what comes after that. Prosperity. Everybody wants prosperity, right? And it's not just financially being prosperous. It's everything. You begin to be prosperous in your marriage, in your friendships, in your relationships. You begin to be prosperous in your relationship with God. You begin to be intentful in your relationship with God. But also, when you're walking in your purpose and you have that spark igniting inside of you, God begins to allow the overflow to happen. He allows you to just reap the benefits of your labor, right? So we all know that when you begin to harvest things, come springtime, the flowers blossom. What are you harvesting right now? What work are you doing? What's in your garden? Do you know? Do you know your purpose? So that's our midday motivation. I want you guys to get in here and talk with me, even if you watch it on the replay. Please do hashtag replay. What I've given to you today and what I've shared with you today has been monumental of pushing me to where I am. And I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to be very transparent. Last year, this time, which was January 2020, right? Well, February 2020, because it's February. I was fed up at my job. Okay, I was tired. I was leaving my job, working for the federal government. I work for the federal government, and I was leaving my job at 3:00 to get to Maple on Monday and Wednesday, and brush on Tuesdays and Thursdays by 3:45, right? And I'm at work, and I'm sitting there from 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, and I am just fed up. I am tired. And everybody's telling me, oh, you're doing such great things. You're this, you that. And I can see the vision of being in corporate America. I can see the vision of working in government agencies, right? I can see the benefits of when I retire. I have all the benefits of being a federal employee, right? And because I work for the Department of Defense, of course, I have all the benefits of being a military personnel. So I got all the benefits, all the vacation, all the retirement benefits of our servicemen. But I was miserable. I hated it. I was getting pushed along. I had got my yellow belt. If you're not familiar with Lean Six, I was going through my Lean Six process, getting my white belt, my yellow belt, my green belt. All these things that was going to make me look great on the corporate side and the government agency side. But I was dead inside. So when I left work at 3:15 and I walked across the parking lot to get into my car and get to Maple or Brush High School at 3:45, something inside of me, I would get that little flutter, my spark. I would get that little spark inside of me, and I would get so happy when I walked in the room with my girls. All the energy came back. Oh my God, I was so excited. I just felt in my element. I felt right at home, right? I found a way to ignite my spark and come out and do the things that I wanted to do. I took a walk of faith into a fearful situation. Catch it. I took a faith walk into a fearful situation, meaning that I gave up some things and I did it in fear. But it was in those moments that I was able to produce some of the best things that could have ever happened to me. So I took the chance. I left the federal government, and so many people, my parents, my friends, was looking at me like, why would you leave the federal government? My supervisor called me on the phone when I gave him my resume. She was like, Bianca, what is wrong with you? You're going to leave the federal girl? You're going to leave all these benefits? If it's not what God has called me to do, then I haven't even tapped in on half of the benefits that I can have. You missed it. We get so caught up on the human side of what's beneficial to us, we don't realize that when we begin to walk in God's purpose and God's benefits, it supersedes everything. So I took this faith walk, right? And when I went into my interview for working where I work at and doing case management, it was an intro to what I wanted to do. It wasn't me running my own youth center, but I was working with kids. I was independent living training. I was using my skill set. I had a little openings in my schedule. I had all these great things. And then they told me I possibly could have took a pay cut. And I said, I can't do that. But something said, just take the job. Just take the job. I said, okay. So I took the job, and first of all, God tripled my salary. And then I was there I've been there for all of 4 months. And God said, this is still not the place. I was using this as your stepping stone to get where I needed you to go. So last year, I wrote out in my prayer journal in this November, I said, God, I need a building for Motivated and Empowered. God, I need finances so that I can leave my job. God, I need you to allow me to fully walk in my purpose. God, I need you to allow me to ignite my spark. And it was in those fearful moments that I began to take the steps to do the things that I needed to do. When I went to see that building, you guys, for Motivated and Empowered, I did it afraid. I did it in fear. I walked in that building and said, there's no way I can afford this. There's no way he's going to give this building to us. Oh, he's going to want this, and he's going to want that, and he's going to want this. And God said, just trust me. Just trust me. Walk in purpose. I did that. And from November to February 1st, God has manifested so much in my life. I have the building. I'm coming off of my corporate job soon. Finances is changing. I have been living in the overflow for the last 7-8 months. Everybody else said it's a pandemic. God has kept me and my family in this season, and He has been a blessing of overflow to us. And it was because I decided to take that one little spark that was inside of me, and I began to ignite it and set it on fire. And I began to walk in my purpose. And then my purpose gave me the power to activate in my voice. And then I said, okay, I can do this. And I started speaking life to my situation instead of death. And then I walked in fear. Don't be scared to move in fear. I walked in fear, and now my dreams are becoming reality. And then on top of that, I have been knowing that I'm supposed to be a teacher. I'm supposed to be teaching my audience. I'm supposed to be giving all these great tools. How to focus on your mental, how to get that mental thing cleared up, how to get your business started the right way, how to format your business the correct way, right? What paperwork do I need for a nonprofit? So many people, they skip over the legal side of nonprofit. They go straight into, I'm going to write this program. I'm going to get funding. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But do you have your paperwork? Do you know that if you're going to solicit online, that you need to make sure that you have a solicitation license in all the states that you are soliciting in, or you can get a big hefty fine? Do you know that? Do you have that paperwork? Do you know what your rules are for fundraising in your state and fundraising online? Have you looked that up? You can't apply for your 501c3 without your board members. So are you just putting family members there just to get your 501c3 status? How is that going to happen when that becomes now their organization? See, people get caught up and say, this is my nonprofit. It's not your nonprofit. It's your board's and your community's nonprofit. They vote on your salary. They vote on if they're going to hire you, keep you, fire you, terminate you. They could take your vision, your plans, everything God has given you, and kick you out, and now it's theirs. Have you safeguarded yourself so that doesn't happen? Do you have your tax documents in place? Do you know how to write a grant? Do you know how to write a sponsorship letter? Do you know how to do a sponsorship deck? These are the questions that we need to ask. And then when you begin to look at the business side of things, when you said, I want to be a corporation, I want to be an LLC, I want to be a sole proprietorship, do you know what that means? Do you know which organization fits best for you? What formation fits best for you? Are you an S Corp? Are you a C Corp? What are you? Are you a private foundation? Are you a public foundation? These are the things that God gave me to teach other people. So I began to walk in that. I began to be obedient in that. And God has been, oh my God, he has been so gracious to even overflow in that. So now I'm talking about, I want to come off of work and I really want to teach and I really want to do that. God said, I'm going to give you the window to do both. You can have your community center and you can teach. I want you to set up a for-purpose, a for-profit, so you can teach. And I want you to give a nonprofit to give back to what I've given you. Don't budge. Don't be afraid to do what God has called you to do. Don't be afraid to tell people no. Somebody messaged me the other day, and I had a meeting with her, and she said, I want you to write this curriculum for me. So I said, okay, I'm fine. I can write that curriculum. That's no problem. Just, it's 3 different curriculums, so I need about 90-day turnaround, 30 days for each one. So I sent her the invoice, and she kicked back. She said, I don't think I should have to pay you for this until I see your work. Excuse me? The old Bianca, before Genesis Dorsey got a hold of me, okay? That's my mentor. Before Genesis got a hold of me, the old Bianca would have wavered and said, okay, I'll write that for you and I'll send you a draft. Let me tell you what people would do, okay? People will get that draft and then find every reason why something is wrong with it and why they don't need to pay you. And now all your hard work has been given to them for free. No, not happening. Not happening. Or they'll say, well, can I get this and can I get that, but can I pay this? Know your worth. Know your worth. I tell people this all the time. There is nothing wrong with walking in purpose and being prosperous at the same time. Don't allow anyone to make you feel as though you can't monetize off the gifts that God has given you. God said that your gifts will make room for you. And we live in a world that money makes the world go round. So if my gifts don't make room for me, then I have to be able to make money as well so that I can live the life that God has promised me. Don't discount your skill set. Don't discount. If your price is $1,500, there's 2 type of people in the world, okay? There's going to be the person that's going to say, okay, invoice paid. And there's going to be the person say, well, I don't think this is the best fit for me. Or can you do this? Or I can't. Oh, I like both of you. You want to know why? Because you both are teaching me something. Now I know my clientele. I know who I should be going after. Everybody has a profile. So now I can study these profiles and say, okay, I can't go and help these people, but this is my clientele over here. The churches may be my clientele. Corporate America may be my clientele, right? Because that's who can afford my prices. It may not be my sister or my friend from high school or my home girl from back there or my cousin's cousin, baby mama need me. That may not be my clientele. I am encouraging you to God today. These are the things that I have went over. I'm going to type it as I say it. Number 1 that we talked about today is to find your spark. Find your spark. Point blank, period. Find your spark. Your spark is that little flutter thing that you get when you do something and it makes you so excited. Okay? The second thing is when you find your spark, allow yourself to ignite it. Allow yourself to ignite that spark. Allow it to get caught on fire. Set that thing on fire, okay? Set it on fire. After you ignite your spark, okay, I want you guys to do it afraid. Do it afraid. Do it in fear. Because it's in fear that we do things that we would have never done. You're either going to fight or you're going to flight. Which one will you do? Fourthly, I told you to activate your power. Activate your power. And then after I told you to activate your power, I told you to live in the prosperity of it. Prosper in that place. Prosper there. You have to learn how to prosper in the blessings and the callings that God has given you. You prosper in that place. I'm telling y'all, stop selling yourself for $14.99. Stop talking about, I'm gonna give you this class for free. No. We not. Let me tell you, people don't value free. People do not value free. Let me tell you something. If I give somebody something for free, they're going to give me 10%, or they may not even show up. Well, when somebody, I can charge $10 for a class. $10. And I guarantee you, them people going to show up at least the first day. Because guess what they're going to say? I paid my money for this. I'm going to get my money's worth. People do not value free. So prosper in the place that God has put you in. Okay? And then, after you prosper in that place, I need you to know your worth. Know your worth. Sis, bruh, stop discounting your worth. Anytime that God has called you to the greater and he's giving you a gift, I don't care if 50,000 other people do what you do. They don't do it like you do it. They don't have the calling that you have on your life. They don't have the story that you have. They don't have the passion that you have. They don't have the skill set that you have. Everybody has a unique characteristic, right? Everybody is made up differently. So somebody else maybe do consulting, right? But their consulting maybe look totally different than mine. So they may be saying, okay, I'm going to help you establish your business, and they're just doing paperwork for you. But what about, are they feeding you what to do after the paperwork is done? Do you know that once you get these bylaws and you get your strategic plan that I'm creating for you, do you know how to implement it? Have I got you out of the mind shift? Have your mind shift changed it? And now you're not fearful to do this. You got all these documents you done paid for, but you're still talking yourself out of the business. You're still talking yourself out of the prices. You're still talking yourself out of your why. You're like, I still can't do it. I done paid all this money to write my bylaws. I done got my 501c3 out my LLC. I done got this in place. I done paid for a website. I done got marketing. I done got my branding done, but I'm still not good enough, or I'm too afraid to do this, or I can't do that. I can't leave corporate America, or I can't go up to my boss and tell them I want to raise, because everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur, right? So even when people are doing purpose, doing consulting, how many people are honest with you and say, sis, God told me this ain't for you. This ain't for you. You're supposed to be in the corporate world. Somebody in corporate America needs the same skill sets, and they're going to pay you for it. They're going to pay you for it. But how many of us really know our worth? How many of us really know it? And that is my rant for today. We've been on for about 27 minutes, right? So I hope that something that I said was a blessing to you, right? I hope that you have been encouraged by something that I said. I hope that you take on the challenges that I've given you. But this is what I have for you. This is what I have for you. It is time to change our mindset. It is time for us to ignite the spark that's inside of us. I am going to be posting tonight on my website, beautifullyme.org. I am going to be doing a 4-day masterclass about igniting your spark. This class is going to be something amazing. It's going to be fast track, but it's going to do some mental work that is necessary to get us to the next level in our lives. Whether it's in our career, whether it's in our finances, whether it's in our marriage, our ministry, or our business, this 4-day class is going to be something amazing. This class is going to be $49.99, and it is going to only have 40 seats available. Okay? I am going to post it tonight at 10:01 p.m. I am opening up 40 seats. After 40 seats, I am closing it because I don't want to overexhaust myself. I want to make sure that I am giving you guys my all. So this 4-day class, we're going to talk about igniting the spark inside of us, but we're going to do some work. It's going to come with a workbook that you can use even after. It's going to come with some hand, because I want them people, I can't teach you something that don't give you something tangible to take with you, right? So I am going to put that on tonight at 10:01. You will be able to sign up. If you want first dibs on this, if you want first dibs to get in this class, I am encouraging you to go to my link, which is beautifullyme.org. It's up there in the comments. I am going to be releasing that to my community first at 7 p.m. So if you're on my mailing list, if you already subscribed, I am going to be promoting and releasing this to you guys first. So you get first dibs, and then I'll open it up to the community if the seats aren't all taken. Okay. So I hope this helped you in some way. I hope I was able to encourage you guys in some way. I am challenging you to go and click on my website, join my mailing list, right? And I'm also asking that you will share, reshare, hashtag, repost, tag me when you reshare this. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you need help with anything. I tell people, yes, I have a fee. But I'm also not selfish with the gifts that God has given me. I don't mind being a blessing to people because I believe that if somebody would have helped me along the way, I'll probably be so much further in my life. So that is my little rant for our Midday Monday motivation. You guys have a great week. I will check in with you guys on Wednesday. And like I said, you guys, find your spark. Bye.